Hey ladies, Alicia here. Welcome to my book club. Thanks so much for joining. I have chosen a book. This is the book that we will start with. Dr. Wayne Dyer's The Power of Intention. It's amazing. I'm so excited to dive into it with you guys. I've recorded an introductory unit 1. You can see there's a short series of short videos in there where I just kind of talk about some other books. I mention, The Big Leap and Jin Sincero and self-coaching and Make Oz Miracles and Do the Work. And these are all really good books that have really impacted me that are just awesome as well. High Performance Habits. This is one that we could spend a whole month on going through, but it's very much practical, and so we might get to that. But in thinking about where I really wanted to start with you guys, what I'm really excited about is this book. It's the most recent, highly impactful book that I'm just finishing reading it, and I want to go through it with you all. And I decided this is going to be the main one. I would love for you to get it and start reading through it, and as we talk about it, I'll reference different chapters, I'll mention different pages. You can kind of highlight different parts. I'll open it and say I'm going to read this section and then talk about it, and then you could open up your book, just read that part of it, and then we can talk about it. I still have a host of supporting characters, more books, that I just want to mention here, that these are ones that... Okay, so I want to talk about the ego and the soul and how to flip the switch. And kind of walk us through what that's like, and then we can share about kind of the varying stages of where we're at in that process. And it's kind of like a flipping the switch at some point, but then it's also just a daily commitment to living life that way. So for the ego, I'm going to be talking about this book. It's more of a masculine historical approach, but I really like Ryan Holiday, and this really helped me with thinking through the ego. But then you could focus on the power of intention. When I talk about ego, I'll bring in this some, but Wayne Dyer has a whole part of a chapter in his book where he kind of talks about like obstacles to living with intention, and that, it's in the ego, and like it has a whole list of things. And then the artist's journey, I'm going to get into this because he has some really fun things where he talks about, it ties into the soul. It's going to be fun. If you like any of Steven Pressfield's books, I recommend that you buy all of them. The nonfiction ones that he wrote that are like with this white cover, like this, you saw the other one. They kind of have this theme to them. I really love Do the Work and Turning Pro and The Artist's Journey. And The War of Art is kind of redundant. It's the first one, and then he kind of does more books where he like focuses in on the different ideas. But this one is the one that touches the most on this idea of the soul. At the end of the book, he gets into this really interesting concept about the soul and kind of puts out some theory that's really intriguing, and so we're going to talk about that when we get to it. And at the end of that, when he does that, he talks about the soul's code. You don't need to buy this one unless it's hardcore. It's like another book, and it's big and it's heavy, and it kind of goes deeper. But the end of this book, where he mentions some ideas, leads into the beginning of this book, and this is the stuff that's like, oh, it's kind of advanced. It was like really big and new and heavy for me, but heavy in like a way that made me feel lighter. Anyways, I was like, I don't know, can they handle it? But y'all, like, I decided to just go for it and give you the best, like the stuff that I'm the most excited about. The reason that I made this a group instead of just having a page is that I don't want to just share with just anybody. High Performance Habits, I'll probably be doing some videos about that and putting it on YouTube. But some of this is just near and dear to my heart, and also fresh, and it's just, I almost want to say sacred. I don't know. But that's just a heads up that I'm going to be tying in some ideas from these different books as we go through this one. So you can focus on this one. The other thing I would say, if you want to buy it or if you already have it, I mentioned in my like introductory series of videos, May Cause Miracles. I've just decided that I need to dive back into Gabrielle Bernstein. I read her several, I'm like looking down here, so I'm holding the books in the frame, and then I'm like, oh, I need to look at you. Anyways, I'm diving back into her. I read her several months ago, and then I like read a bunch of books since then, and so like I read The Universe Has Your Back, and I like kind of got it, and it was introducing me to some different things, and it's fun to see like how she says stuff compared to how Jen Sincero says stuff. And of course she mentions Wayne Dyer, and I'm like, oh, I really need to read him. So I read this one, and then I read this, and this really just helped me slowly think through these different concepts and apply them in this daily kind of way. And I really loved this one, and so I mentioned that. But it's more of a 40-day format. Like each day you just have like a one sentence that you kind of meditate on, and then you journal, and you go about your day, and you do the same thing in the evening. So it's kind of different. But this, I'm going to start rereading this to see, you know, what jumps out at me now that I've been further on the journey and read so much more. And then I just ordered this last week because I love it when I love an author and then I haven't read all their books, or they write a new book. Anyways, I haven't read this one yet, so I'm excited about it, and I don't know yet how much exactly it will tie in to kind of this thread and this journey that I want us to go on together, but I'm sure it will, because it's her and she's awesome, and this is like totally what she does. So all of that to say, welcome. I'm so excited that you're here. Final thought would just be, feel free to read as little or as much as you want, whenever you want, and feel free to, I'm going to try to kind of give a schedule, I guess go a chapter a week or something, but I know I'm going to bounce around quite a lot. It's a lot for me to pick one book to focus on, and then weave the other ideas in. So I'm going to commit to focus on this book, weave some other ones in, but really, I want this to be something where if you don't do anything else besides just come watch the videos as I post them and think about them, that's great. Start with that. We'd love to hear if you have thoughts, but I also know this is a lot, so just, I'm putting out some content in a safe place. I want you to think about it and then just tell us whatever you have to say, and if you read something related, tell us about that. It'll be really fun to talk about it. So, I'm going to go to bed. I just recorded some videos and then played some chess games and then put 4 boys to bed. And I'm really happy that they did not interrupt this video. So, y'all are amazing. Welcome. And I'm so excited. I believe there's a reason that you are here, and I commit to bringing my A game to delivering this content in this season. I really don't know what the future holds. All I just really know, I've done a lot of overthinking. Launching this is like it's actually a big deal. It's a big victory for me. I'm going to do a unit 2 or whatever unit. I'm going to do a unit that's just about my journey and put in there some videos about my story that I haven't really been ready to share in detail yet about selling the house and the different things, but for you guys, I'm going to document it in a video and share it here so you guys can hear about it, and that'll give you some context as you hear me, talk about things and everything. Anyways, all that to say, I don't know exactly where I'm going with this, but I'll commit to do this with y'all at least for the next 2, probably 3 months, potentially way longer. It may morph as far as in format and how many people. Basically the format and where it's hosted might change. But I just really feel led to start sharing some of this, and I've really been praying and thinking about the right people. So asking the God, the universe, to terminology's hard, but to bring the right people. So if you're here, I really believe that you're here for a reason, and I hope that you will get something powerful out of this. And yeah, and if all this makes you think of somebody that you think would really love it, feel free to invite them. But no pressure. Focus on just your journey and what you're supposed to get out of this. I'm like playing with my books. Okay. You're beautiful, you're amazing, you deserve good things, and I'm really excited to make this a place where we speak truth into each other's lives. I'm here to speak some truth into you that I hope is a timely truth. So that's all for tonight. We start officially tomorrow, but I'm going to go ahead and put this video up. So, all right, until next time, bye.